Hey everyone, I wanted to go over my impressions for Pokemon Unite. They have a beta test, essentially an open beta, available for the Nintendo Switch, available right now, only in the Nintendo Switch Japanese eShop as of right now, but we do expect to see this one eventually show up in the North American and European eShop at a later point. They are calling it a stress test, basically checking out, seeing if the performance is good enough, if the servers are actually able to handle a load of people being able to connect and play the game throughout. But you are able to download this right now if you live in North America or Europe. If you simply happen to have a Nintendo Japanese account on your Nintendo Switch, or you change the location from your account that you're currently, and you change it to basically just Japan, and you should be able to have access to downloading this right now and being able to play it. And from the looks of it, this is actually the full game that's available right there from the get-go. There doesn't seem anything be missing right there. Basically, the closed betas that a lot of people got to see was the full game. A lot of people are saying that this is exactly what was available in the closed betas that was now basically just available for everyone to be able to check out. The clear difference is that, of course, that your save will not be able to carry over into the full experience once the game launches, presumably early next month. We don't necessarily know when as of right now, but your save will basically not carry over as of now. And the main reason for that is probably because they're giving you like 8,000 actual in-game currency. There's three types of different currencies. Actually, there's probably more than that, but there's three main ones that you should be worried about. The ones that are basically like gold coins that you are going to be just throwing at non-stop. You're just going to keep earning those like water is not necessarily a problem, but the reason for that is because those aren't necessarily like valuable at all. Then there's like tickets, which are essentially like things that you can use to purchase very specific items that are in-game only, of course, but you get those just by playing the game naturally through progression. A lot of this game's unlocks are tied to progression specifically, but those tickets are basically only rewarded through progression as far as I understand it. And then they have crystals, and the crystals are essentially your, hey, I put a couple bucks in the eShop, I bought some crystals. That's actually in-game currency that a lot of the game will often be supported as whenever they start rolling out like skins and stuff like that for each one of the Pokemon, which there are some skins already, but they're all like available in the game already. So they do give you like 8,000 crystals up front, basically so you can purchase any of the Pokemon that are going to be available in the game and automatically just test them out and see how you like them. They all play very differently. I've made a couple of videos already about this game, showing off a little bit about it, and essentially they have like attackers, defenders, all-rounders, and even supporter types, where each Pokemon falls into that very specific category, and you are just basically able to play to their best advantage. If you're a supporter, you're trying to heal or disable other Pokemon's moves. If you're an attacker, you basically want to stick to a supporter type or a defender because they are basically having a little bit of a glass cannon approach. They can do massive damage, but they also can't take a lot of damage. And if you're like a speedster or a tank, you basically just want to stick around supporters and stuff like that. So it's a very clear incentive as to which one of the Pokemons are able to do what and which ones you should be focusing on. And this MOBA experience is no different than any other MOBA that's out there. There's a lot of like little changes and tweaks. You're dunking specifically points to control a specific area, for example, where you are tallying points to be able to control one area. But other than that, it's not really all that different than stuff you've seen in other MOBAs. There's still a jungle that you are able to just use to take down random Pokemon to get more experience, to earn new moves and evolve your Pokemon if they happen to evolve. Not all of them evolve, and basically just get stronger. There are some weird ones like Lucario, for example. He does not necessarily evolve. Like Riolu is not in the game. He always plays as Lucario, like right out of the gate. But like a Slowpoke will start into a Slowpoke and then a Slowbro. So, you know, they do evolve. There's no like Slowking or anything like that, which is weird enough. But like most Pokemon will evolve, but some of them don't. But because they give you a ton of currency, you are able to check out most of them. You should be able to see which ones you find that are appealing to you, which ones are like, you know, your fan favorites and stuff like that, and you should be able to pick from that. And it is a pretty good game. I will say that right out of the gate. I've had a lot of fun with it. It is one of those things that because it is a MOBA, I don't want to necessarily burn myself out playing this. It's very similar to when I was playing the Monster Hunter Rise demo. I eventually made a conscious decision like, hey, I'm just going to do this a couple of times and then just shelve it because I don't want to burn myself out playing this. And then when the actual game comes out, I don't kind of like feel like playing the game because I already played a ton of hours on the demo or the trial, and I don't necessarily want to do that. So with this game, I gave it about 6 or so hours. I played quite a bit. I think I leveled to like about level 15 or so, and I got to check out a lot of the things. I tried out all the Pokemon at the very least a couple of times, and you know, I got a pretty good concept as to what this game is going to be, and I feel like it's going to be massive. But then again, this is the perspective from someone who was very big into Arena of Valor on the Nintendo Switch, and that game was shelved automatically because it didn't have like millions of people playing it like they do in Japan. And the developers basically said like, yeah, we can't keep supporting a game that doesn't have millions of people playing it. So this is the Pokemon company. This isn't necessarily like a Chinese-based focused company that is going to be making the decisions on this. The developers are a Chinese studio, but they're not going to be making the calls on actually like the game surviving or continuing. This is still going to be the Pokemon company making that call ultimately. And the fact that it is coming day one on Nintendo Switch and then a little bit later on mobile is going to get that big support from mobile players. I have seen already that South Korean streamers on Twitch are eating this game up. So there's definitely going to be an audience for this game no matter what you think about it. Whether it's like North American or like European players aren't necessarily interested in MOBAs. The fact of the matter is Asian players are going to be all over this game because again, MOBAs are extremely popular in Asia, and I'm thinking that there's probably going to be the biggest market that they're going to have. Whether there is that support of actually like keeping the game going because they are supporting it with new Pokemons, new events and stuff like that, which is essentially what keeps MOBAs alive and thriving, that's another story. We don't necessarily know the roadmap going forward. This is a company that they do have a pretty good record in the MOBA sphere. They do make a lot of games in that regard. So hopefully they will be able to, you know, provide enough content for people to be able to keep playing it. But other than that, I can't necessarily speak to that because we haven't necessarily seen the roadmap going forward. I think it will go a long way to make this game available, at least a free trial or a free demo, before it comes out for North American and European players to be able to check it out. I think that's the market that they need to convince the most to be able to check out this game. Definitely when it comes to mobile, there's going to be those mobile players who are going to be able to check it out because they don't necessarily need to buy a console to play it. So that's always a benefit in that regard. And again, it's free to play, so you never have to invest a penny into any of this because you are just going to be playing the game for free if you so choose. But again, I found the game extremely fun. I think I'm just going to put it on shelf. I'm not going to keep playing it too much because again, I do want to play the full experience. There is some hitching going on. There are some, I don't want to say frame rate issues, but there is like a very specific moment. I believe it's right before Zapdos comes out in the middle of the field that the game kind of hitches. And it's not like dropping frames like severely or anything like that. The game just stutters, like it pauses. And there's something going on with that. I don't think they're going to overlook that. I think there's something that they're going to fix. The game doesn't necessarily feel like it's chugging or anything like that. The visuals aren't anything, you know, to go by like extremely impressive or anything like that. So I think the hit detection has been really good. I don't necessarily feel like there's anything jittery or weird about the moves or actions because again, this game has been beta tested and even alpha'd to death in Japan and China for quite a while already. So the build that we're actually getting is pretty stable already as it is. But that's pretty much my takes on this game. I'm very much looking forward to it, and hopefully you guys get to check it out if you do have a Japanese Nintendo Switch eShop account and you are able to check this out. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!